All right, guys. I said I would do this in my last my last broadcast. If there was like another mode I could play that wouldn't would include spoilers, I would do it. This is the time attack mode. There's no story involved with this. It's just some gameplay from Blood and Truth. So if you wanted to check out kind of what the game's about without ruining any of the story elements, this is the video to watch. So. Yeah, so basically there's going to be a bunch of targets. It's basically just a target shooting kind of thing. So you can see some of the guns that are involved in the game without ruining any of the story. There's also an ability to play single missions, I believe, as well. So if you guys are interested in me streaming some of the, replaying some of the missions from the story mode, I can do that as well. So yeah, this is just a good way to get an idea what the game's about. If you've ever played the London Heist game from the pack-in VR Worlds, of course, you already know this game is very similar to that. The only difference is there's some new additions kind of from that, and they've added a bunch of guns and a better story. Actually, the story took me about 5 hours to complete. So here we go, guys. So there's different time attacks here. So we have different weapons for each one. This one's just two 9mm pistols. They have some automatic pistols here, assault rifle, submachine gun, a sawed-off shotgun, revolver. I like the revolver and the automatic pistol here. These are actually my two favorite guns. So I'm gonna try the fifth one. Now this is of course it might be harder. I don't know if they're arranged by difficulty or not. But these are my favorite loadouts right here. So let's give this one a shot first. Hopefully my hands are in the correct order. I had to set down the controllers briefly. I tried out the first one, and the first one is just a pistol mode, and I don't know. I didn't really find it all that interesting, but I guess this is going to be a little harder because the revolver doesn't have as many rounds in it as the this one does. It does a lot of damage though. So, and you're dealing with actual enemies. It's a lot better. Takes one shot to kill somebody with this, or two shots if they're wearing armor. So you get 60 if you hit the chest area. You get 100 if you hit the marker on the chest. You actually get less if you hit the head. I don't know if you actually hit the marker on the head, you get more, but you can see you get points deducted. This is very much a harder level than the first one. So now I'm sure a lot of you watching are probably like, that. Target shooting is not the most interesting thing to watch. Well, I agree with you. You can watch the story that I did stream previously, but that will spoil the game if you intend on playing it. So. I'm actually gonna switch to the. I'm trying to reload, and everything uses the damn trigger in this game. So that is one thing I didn't like about it, because you try to put a gun in your. It's mostly your shoulder holsters where it becomes problematic to holster weapons, because half the time you're firing when you're not intending to, and there's some stealth elements in this game, so you're trying to get through an area with stealth, and you fire, and then you alert the bad guys that you're there. So, okay. So that was a much harder mode than the first one. I'm gonna show you. I think I'm gonna do the shotgun and the submachine gun next, and then I can circle back to the first one. So let's see here. So this is probably also very hard. I imagine with the shotgun as well, it's going to be harder to hit. I don't know if this is this is the sawed-off. So there's also apparently another mode coming as well. It says coming soon. There's a secondary mode that's coming soon. I imagine that's probably some kind of wave shooting mode, probably. I'm going to put that on my left shoulder, this on my right, and move over physically because I'm too close to a physical object to my right here. Now the automatic weapons have quite a spread, so accuracy is not the easiest thing. You can see I'm hitting the head a lot on these shots. And there's no sights. There's no sights at all on, on the guns they give you, so it's not like it's not like you really can aim. Or you can't aim down the sights anyways. I don't know where the gun went, just kind of disappeared all of a sudden. So you can see headshots are actually less points. I don't know why that is, but... All I can see is the head, I can't really hit... I guess any of the, if you hit any of the dots, you get 100s. I don't think it matters. But if you hit near the head, and you miss... you miss the chest, anywhere in the chest area, and that yellow portion is a 60 point. So you want to go for the chest in this. No, we're not going to replay the challenge. Now, yeah, I think we're gonna go back to the first time attack mode, and I think I'm gonna end the stream there because the next thing I'm gonna be playing is the next thing I'm gonna be playing is the I'm gonna probably replay the missions after that, and so I said, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I don't want to put spoilers in a stream where I said no spoilers. So there's another time attack mode here. So this is the first one. I'm actually just gonna stick with one pistol here because dual wielding and trying to reload isn't the easiest thing in this game. Again, because you're using your trigger for everything, so you end up firing when you're trying to reload instead of reloading the gun. This is a time attack mode, so speed is kind of key here, but... those targets you can hit multiple times. Now, to be honest with you, as far as target shooting goes, this would not be the game to get for target shooting. Obviously, you get this game for the story, because there's a much better target shooting game for PSVR, and it's Gun Club. The guns function like the real McCoy. You have to pull back the slide and everything. You have to charge your weapons in that game. So this is just to show you guys just some of the just how some of the gameplay will work. If you guys are interested, I could make a review for the game, but yeah, like I said, it took me 5 hours to complete. All in all, the story's good. The gameplay was fun, but it's not without some issues. There were some glitches that actually required me to close the game down and restart the whole thing because I got stuck. There were some invisible waypoints in the beginning, and then to be honest, the biggest thing I think is the fact that they have the trigger doing everything. So if you want to put a larger gun in your back holsters, you have to reach behind your back, and there's a vibration that indicates that you're on target for that. But to be honest, the best way to do it is to touch your own shoulder, touch your shoulder with your move control, the top of your move controllers. That's the best way to be able to get it to work every single time. But it takes some getting used to, and if you fail to do it right, you'll end up firing the gun. And if you're in a sequence where you need to be stealthy, you've just alerted all the guys that you're there. So it kind of takes away from the game. And then again, if you're dual wielding, and eventually you can dual wield it, you can't at the first part of the game, but you try to reload your gun, and often you're firing, or you'll grab you'll grab a weapon when you're trying to grab a clip or something like that. Your gun will switch hands. So again, the trigger doing everything is just a kind of a bad design choice. And technically they did use all the buttons. There's like you press triangle to spin your gun, but I don't think that's a necessary thing for the gameplay. They could have gotten rid of that entirely, and then just like they got 6 buttons on each controller. So you got 4 face buttons, the trigger, and then the move button, and potentially you could use the start button, but they use that for obviously use it for pausing. So but yeah, you basically have 6 buttons to work with that are functional, and if you want, you can break apart controls for each hand. So like some games will do that, and they could have used the triangle or the square. The 2 buttons, one of the buttons on top, because the 2 bottom buttons are for strafing. They could even taken strafing out, because it's all waypoints anyways. It's not like you need the strafing there really. But even still, they could have used the 2 top buttons, the square and the triangle, I believe it is, to toss a gun or drop it into your holster automatically, or what have you. And they didn't do that for whatever reason. Like Killing Floor, they have the same system where you have to put it in your back, but you can just throw the gun, which is much quicker, and it magically just appears in your holster again. And they could have done something like that. Also, if you need to reload a shotgun, a pump-action shotgun, you have to do it two-handed. Again, Killing Floor had a button for that. Killing Floor also had a reload button if you wanted to reload the guns automatically rather than having to do it with your hand. So you had a lot of options in Killing Floor that you don't have in this game, and it's also a two-handed shooting game. So they could have borrowed a lot from that game, and they chose not to, and they chose to do everything with the trigger. And again, it causes problems throughout the game. So, but besides all that, if you kind of overlook that and you're able to get through that, the game is pretty good. It's just that it was just a little bit of annoyance throughout the game with that. But once you get used to the controls, it's not a big deal. Again, if you played through the London Heist, it pretty much plays like that with the waypoint movements. Again, the moving with the waypoints, I feel like not nuts about it. They could have had teleporting in the game, but it's almost like an on-rail shooter with more options. I mean, that's the best way to look at it. It's like it's a VR on-rail shooter with more freedom to movement than you have on rails. So anyways, guys, I'll see you.